just got back to Colombia this week. Now this is where it all started, back in 2014, when I started teaching English and learning Spanish. And this is where I learned what it takes to get fluent. So now, 12 years later, I'm going to give you your 2026 fluency plan. Sadly, even if you block out an hour a day, your routine still sucks because you have a missing link. The plan I'm going to give you is a chain. You need all of the links to get fluent. If one link's missing, then the whole thing falls apart. Let's get into it. I nearly forgot. You've got to watch out for this one because it's the danger link. I'll tell you why in a minute. Step 1, stop learning English. Whoa, what the hell are you talking about? I thought we were trying to get fluent. Well, let me explain. When I was in school, quite a long time ago now, the world was a very different place. There were no phones, no YouTube, and speaking Spanish was not cool. Spanish class at high school was like torture. I hated it. I was quite a good student in general, but I just thought Spanish was a complete waste of time. But life never turns out how you expect. Long story short, I met a Colombian girl and ended up here. Now, you can imagine my frustration when I realized that I had to learn Spanish. But now, it wasn't a waste of time like it was at school. It was essential to my new life. I really struggled at first because I still had that trauma from high school. I believed deep down that I was terrible at languages, that getting fluent was an impossible task, and that learning languages was really boring. And all of that was true. Even after 2 years of immersion, I was still useless. Mrs. D had to translate everything for me. But do you know what made the difference? Well, my attitude changed, and it changed in stages. First, I stopped seeing Spanish as a failed school subject. Then it changed from something boring to something necessary. And finally, it turned into something fun, exciting, and sexy. But my fluency got really good when I stopped identifying as a language learner. Now this is where I get in trouble, but I don't care. You've got to change your mindset from I'm a language learner to I speak English. This is your typical learner mindset. You think it's like this, with beginner, then intermediate and advanced, with native at the top. And until you get to the top, you're apologizing. Oh, sorry, my English so bad. Well, the problem is you can never get there. You can't get to the top. So you're apologizing forever. A better model is this. Native and non-native speakers all using English to communicate, where the emphasis is on the communication and the message, not on the grammar and the vocabulary. See the difference? So you need to go from I'm learning English to I speak English. Now, I don't mean that you have to stop learning and stop improving. In fact, the opposite is true. This mindset shift will actually allow you to learn more and unlock that next level of fluency. Our next link in the fluency plan is step 2, immersion. So go on, pack your bags and get on the next flight to London or New York. Well, just before you do that, you don't need to go anywhere to get immersion. If you were thinking that that's what you needed to get fluent, well, you're wrong. Lots of English speakers think I'm stuck in my village in India, France, Colombia, or wherever you are. If only I could fly off to the UK for a year, then all of my problems would be solved. In reality, people go, they don't speak to anyone, no one speaks to them, and they go back home more frustrated than ever. Of course, some kind of exchange or time abroad can be massive if you do it right, but it's not the magic solution that you think it is. You can create an immersive environment for yourself at home, wherever you are. You need to supercharge your contact with English throughout the day. Blocking out half an hour every day to study English sounds good, but it's not enough if you want to get to that next level of fluency fast. From the moment you wake up, you're operating in English. You have to become obsessed. I'm not just going to give you the classic list, read a book, watch TV, and listen to music in English. You already know that. There are even some extra tricks you can do, like changing your phone settings to English. And all of that's great, but they're just that, tricks. Real immersion is a lifestyle, and it comes from a love of the language. When I learned Spanish, I didn't think, I know, I'll practice some Spanish and put some salsa music on. I fell in love with the culture to the point where When I wanted to listen to some music, I was picking the salsa, vallenato or reggaeton. It became my go-to choice. I know all the words, not from studying, but from singing in the shower and listening to when I'm cooking the dinner. So I wasn't studying the language, I was living it. And I saw this in my students too. There was one girl who loved English. She was obsessed with Harry Potter. She knew all full lyrics to loads of songs, and her brain operated in English. She sounded amazing. She'd never been to an English-speaking country. Remember at the beginning when I said that this was the danger link? Well, that's because, in a way, it's the easiest. It's just reading, listening to music, watching TV. And it ties in perfectly with the theory of comprehensible input, which says that getting lots of input is the best way to acquire a language. You can see how that's an attractive prospect. You just sit around doing fun stuff and learn automatically. A bit like those learn while you sleep tapes. But if something's too good to be true, it usually is. It's the danger link because it's too passive and you can get trapped here and understand English perfectly, but not be able to speak. That's why the next vital fluency link is output. Fluency needs practice. You actually have to open your mouth and speak the language. You actually have to do something. That's why most people's chain breaks at this point. But if you're serious about getting fluent in 2026, you need to have a speaking routine. Do you have a native speaking partner and conversations in English every day? Well, if you do, great. If not, then this is the exact speaking protocol that you need. Step 1, choose a topic. Pick something to talk about. Step 2, plan your response. Take 30 seconds to plan what you're going to say. Step 3, press record. Trust me, this turns up the stress of the situation. But having real conversations with native speakers might be stressful too, so this is good practice. Step 4, speak for 2 minutes. Now, feels like a long time at first. You will want to stop, but just keep going. Step 5, score and review. Now, another benefit of recording yourself is that you get to go back and listen to yourself and see if there's any mistakes or if there's anything that you'd like to improve, and hopefully see how much progress you're making. By the way, this process is broken down in full detail, complete with a list of speaking topics and how you can correct your own mistakes in my ebook, Solo Speaking Success. Links in the description. Click the link, put in your email address, and I'll send you a million spam emails. Just kidding. I'll just send you the PDF. No emails yet. The next link is consistency. As we start a new year, enthusiasm is high. I see it every year at the gym. I actually quite enjoy going to the gym, so I try and go as often as I can. But I see it every year. In January, full of new people with that new year, get in shape, New Year's resolution. It's terrible. You can't get on any of the machines. It's disgustingly busy. But just give it a few weeks. By the time March comes around, it's just back to the regulars. And guess who's in the best shape? Getting fluent in English is a bit like getting ripped at the gym. If you can't keep it up consistently, don't bother starting. It's just a waste of time. It doesn't matter if you miss your speaking practice for a day. What matters is how soon you get back in the routine, and that you make the decision every day to be a fluent English speaker. And if you're ready to stop saying sorry for your English, watch this video next. Just in time, because it's gonna rain. Look at that sky.